Hey there guys, welcome back to Texas Beer Reviews, and on this episode we will be looking at Terrapin's Wake-n-Bake Coffee Oatmeal Imperial Stout. But wait, there's more. We will also be looking at Terrapin's Cinnamon Rolled Wake-n-Bake Imperial Stout, malt beverage with natural and artificial flavors added. But wait, there's more. We will also be looking at Terrapin's Tart Cherry Wake-n-Bake Coffee Oatmeal Imperial Stout, with stout with coffee and Montmorency cherry juice added. So, put those away for the side for a bit. And we'll be focusing first on just the regular Wake-n-Bake. So this is this year's vintage. This is vintage 2016 1500. I don't really know what that means after that.
Nope.
Oh, I don't know what the can date is, but it's pretty fresh. Because it's this year's, and yeah.
No more than a month, I don't think.
Okay, there we go. So yeah, this is their Imperial Stout with coffee added, and of course, Terrapin is out of Georgia. This is one of their more popular beers, and it's brewed with Jittery Joe's coffee. Comes in at 9.4% alcohol by volume. And yeah, so I've had this beer plenty of times, and so has Jake. However, I've never had this vintage.
I have not had this one yet.
All right, cool. Let's check it out. So we're just gonna. Oh, wait.
Damn it.
All right. Some little pours here. Okay, so pours out a pretty, of course, dark black brown. It's got a nice tan mocha head. Looks pretty solid. So, share the aroma. Lots of nice roasty coffee.
Tons of coffee.
Tons of coffee. Getting a bit of a kind of a milk sugar type sweetness too.
It's like a sweet iced coffee sort of smell.
Yeah, yeah. Smells nice and coffee-like. So, I don't know. Check it out. Cheers. Wow. Yeah, it's a ton of coffee. Real big and bold. It's got some nice roast character on the back end, but it's still pretty smooth. Getting a nice chocolate malt character to it as well.
It's got a pretty pillowy sort of carb to it.
Yeah, the
Real
carb
soft.
Carb is nice. Definitely good carbonation for an Imperial Stout.
It's nice to see that. The last couple of vintages I'd had, I thought carb was a little bit too high or too prickly for what this beer is, and it seems like it's back to
Yeah,
a really good place.
Yeah, I mean, the carbonation's spot on this. It's got a pretty solid bitterness too on the back end. I mean,
super coffee.
yeah, this is not a faint for the heart, you know, coffee stout or whatever. This is pretty intense and bold and pretty nice stuff. You know, I could easily drink this for breakfast with kolaches or whatever else. Yeah, this vintage is drinking really nice. Really nice. I'm liking it quite a bit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm on an easy like 4.25 on this one, verging towards 4.5, just for how well done the coffee is on it.
Yeah, me too. Like I said, definitely. This used to be my favorite, coffee stout, and then I didn't think it was so good the last couple of years, but it's back up to where I feel like it was a couple of years ago. So.
Yeah, this is nice, pretty intense. Of course, Terrapin doesn't tribute to Texas, but Jake is up here in there in Alabama.
Yeah, they probably go to Florida and Tennessee and of course Georgia and probably North Carolina and South Carolina and maybe Kentucky. They have it pretty, and Mississippi, maybe Louisiana. They have it pretty, especially now that they're half owned by Heineken.
Yeah, I believe so.
They're probably about to get a much larger distribution footprint.
Yeah, I can't imagine it would be too long before you see them show up in Texas, to be honest. So, but yeah, check this one out if you're ever in their distribution area. Very awesome, solid coffee Imperial Stout. It's been around for a bit, and it's still one of the better ones out there for sure. But now, let's go through the rest of this and check out these variants. All right. So now we have the cinnamon rolled Wake and Bake. So of course their coffee imperial stout, and I think they actually dip cinnamon rolls into the wort with this beer.
Do they?
Yeah, I thought they did. I thought I saw something where they actually. Now I don't know. When they first were making it, I don't know. It could have been different with this one or not. I don't know if they just put cinnamon or not. It doesn't really say. It says.
What about on the front?
It just says natural and artificial. So it could be some artificial cinnamon, could be some natural cinnamon. I don't know. I don't know what you have with artificial cinnamon, to be honest. But anyway, it's got cinnamon in it. So
Yeah, this is 2015 vintage. Came out when middle of 2015. I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
Spring, summertime. And we had it then when it was fresh. And
we had it was fresh, and had some feelings about it. So I'm very excited to check out how this bottle is, whether there's bottle variation or not, or who knows? Maybe
what
it could
it's
have.
like after a year. And a
Yeah,
half.
maybe it aged well. But got this nice thick wax in here that I've already popped off. So
Cinnamon doesn't usually age well, but
nope.
cinnamon was pretty strong when we had it fresh, so maybe
Yeah.
it'll be a little bit more.
Let's check it out. So appearance is basically identical. Dark black brown, nice tan mocha head. Of course, I didn't pour a huge head on it, but yep, pretty much same appearance. Let's check out the aroma on this guy. Definitely picking up some cinnamon. It's not super intense, but it's there. It's kind of there, hidden in the background.
Some of that coffee, that same sort of coffee, once again, not as pronounced.
Not as pronounced coffee, yeah, I've been sitting on this for a bit. I'm almost picking up like a
Barrel sort of sweetness.
kinda. Almost
Like reminiscent of that.
Yeah.
I know it hasn't been in a barrel. They are coming out with a whiskey barrel-aged one that should be hitting the shelves soon.
yeah, it has this sort of like dark berry, sort of licoricey, savory,
Sweetness.
sweet type, quality to it.
It's interesting.
You know what? Maybe it's just a hint of that like soy. I don't know. Sounds interesting. Let's check out the taste. Cheers. I'm picking up the cinnamon, but I do feel like I'm getting a bit of that kind of like savory, almost umami-like character out of this. It has some sweetness, but I get a bit of soy. Coffee is, not quite there, of course.
Cinnamon's kind of there. I think probably, I wouldn't really age this beer much at all.
No.
But I think when we had it fresh, maybe a few more months would have done a little bit of good.
Yeah.
If I remember right, but I think definitely, this is far too long.
I think this is definitely past its prime.
So, if you've got one of these, probably time to crack it open ASAP.
Carbonation's nice on the body's a good medium, almost kind of slick, kind of sticky. But yeah, I definitely would open this sooner than later because I don't really think this is improving. Cinnamon, the coffee's faded. The cinnamon's kind of there, fading, and it's starting to get, for me at least, a bit of that kind of savory type soy-like character that it's moving towards. It's not quite like an old Dark Lord, but it's headed that way, which is something that imperial stouts will pretty much turn into. So, I don't know, where are you at for an overall score on this guy right now?
I don't know if I want to really
It's
give
kind-
it a score
it's
because
true.
this isn't something you should age or sit on.
Yeah.
I had it, we opened one fresh and had it, and I had an extra one. I didn't do anything with it, so I just wanted to see what would happen. I don't think it's fair to give it a rating. At least
true.
from what I remember, it's quite a different beer than it was.
Yeah, quite different. All I'm pretty much going to say on it is that, don't age it, drink it fresh. I think it's past its prime, and I would prefer the just regular fresh Wake and Bake over this.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I guess it's pretty much that for a cinnamon rolled wake and bake. So now let's go ahead and check out the new vintage, one of the new variants. This is Tart Cherry Wake-n-Bake. So as I mentioned before, stout with coffee and Montmorency cherry juice. Same exact ABV, 9.4. Has a little description of it. So this sounds pretty interesting. You know, there's some breweries that have done cherry stouts, and some of them end up kind of tart with, I mean, usually, I don't know if I've had any tart, like cherry stouts with tart cherries that end up being kind of tart. Most of them are sweet cherries. Think of like cherry rye from Goose Island, or
A Regal rye with cherries.
yeah, I had that.
Yeah.
I think the
Cocktail cherries
Luxardo
and
cocktail
salt.
cherries. You know, all the cherry beers I've had have been like sweet cherries as far as stouts go. You know.
What about, well, I never had the Tart of Darkness with cherries and vanilla.
Well, yeah, but that's supposed to be sour. Is the only difference there, I think.
Yeah, that's what I said. I
Yeah.
don't know if this is supposed to be sour.
Yeah. So, but I mean, you know, tart cherries on top of a kind of a roasty sweet coffee base. So let's check it out. I've already got this super thick wax off. Took a little bit of time there. I mean, like I was mentioning to Jake, it's at least a 1/4 inch thick. So that's said and done. And oh, here, I forgot I still had beer in my glass. I'm gonna get a little pour on this guy first.
Pours out the same, really. Yeah, that black thick, can't see through it. Maybe a little bit more head. Maybe I got a bit of a rougher pour.
Yeah. Yeah, of course I poured really light here, but looks pretty similar. There might be a hint of more red in there.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Well, let's go ahead and check out the aroma. Can't really say that I'm smelling tart cherries.
It's blending really into kind of that sweet milk coffee sort of thing that we got from the regular Wake-n-Bake.
There might be a hint of a fruitiness there. But I'm really picking up the coffee and that kind of this normal wake and bake type qualities out of it. Oh, maybe we'll see if it comes out on the taste. Cheers. Yeah. You know, there's some tartness to it, for sure.
More like a light juiciness, I'd
Yeah.
say, rather than like an actual tartness.
Yeah, I guess it's not really it's kind of, it's got acidity to it, but it's not, it's definitely not sour. You could definitely tell it comes from the cherries being a tart, acidic cherry, as opposed to the beer actually, being sour. Yeah, it really reminds me a lot of fresh wake and bake, just kind of blended with some tart cherry juice, really.
I think what it is.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, pretty much. Yeah, so a lot of the same characteristics, that kind of roasty coffee, with the added cherry juice. It's probably not as intense as just regular fresh. I don't know. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
I'd say, honestly. But yeah, just that cherry kind of juicy tartness to it. Really the, kind of the only difference here that's added to it. And it changes the beer a lot. Mouth feels pretty much the same. So what do you think of this one?
I think the cherries added, or the cherry juice added, is kind of nice. You want something different. It has that same kind of juiciness that like Regal Rye had last year to me, without kind of the sweetness backing it up from the barrel.
Yeah,
probably maybe 3.75.
That's kind of where I'm at on it. I think it's good, solid.
I think a barrel would help this out a lot.
Yeah, I think so as well. The variants have been cool, a little bit different, but a lot of the times, regular wake and bake, really well done, is probably just the best version of it. So pretty excited to check out, how a barrel aged version will do. But still pretty good stuff, pretty different, and you know, if you like those stouts with a bit more of a juiciness to it, maybe there's a hint of acidity in there. I wouldn't say a sour stout, of course, but yeah, I'd check it out. Definitely for sure. I don't know, is this still available on shelves or anything? Or
Yeah, I mean, we still had some at our store when I left, you know, a week ago.
Yeah.
A week ago. So it'll probably be around for a little bit. I mean, the Terrapin limited stuff used to kind of fly off the shelves, and now it's started to get a little bit more regular. They're producing a lot more of it, certainly. So, you know, it seems to be sticking around a lot longer.
Cool. Well, because that's pretty much you know, what we think of this year's Wake-n-Bake, Tart Cherry Wake-n-Bake, and Cinnamon Roll Wake-n-Bake. This one would probably be my favorite, of course, followed by this one, and then this one. It might be reversed if it was fresh, but definitely with the age, it's just not holding up the way I'd hoped it would be. But yeah, I guess that would be it for this Wake-n-Bake set. So, if there's anything else, I guess that's pretty much it. So, as always, think global, drink local, and cheers.